2 years as a team, 2 postseason appearances. In this episode, we take on the Adirondack Thunder in the first round of the Kelly Cup playoffs. However, we're not exactly walking into this with a boatload of confidence, as we started off the year strong, but ultimately we end up crashing back down, finishing a ridiculous 21 points behind the Thunder. And we can't exactly say that we are favorites in this situation. It's tough as well when you factor in what this series is, of course, being at the mercy of the two clubs above us. That's been a common theme, of course, and that's not going away. But it's tough as well when you think, too, of just how difficult this might be against the somewhat more easy to accomplish thought of just sticking with the custom historical challenges. I'm kind of hoping we pull off a miracle here, and that way we can just transition to focusing on those historical challenges. I'm not saying I'm giving up on this series, but it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird, and I think more than likely it's going to be a matter of luck as to whether or not we win. It really does come down to how much help we're able to get from those two teams that are above us. The Thunder really aren't that much better. They have some 3-star players, but again, they won, what, 10 more games than us, finished 21 points ahead. It's kind of ridiculous to think that that was the case. When you look at our roster, it really doesn't feel like they should have been that far ahead. The good news is we have hit the under 26 rule. Wanted to double check on that, make sure we were good. Although again, goaltending-wise, we're set. Chris Nell has to be our goalkeeper. He is the top option anyway. Defensively, I think we'll still go with Irving. Siemens is currently a scratch. LeBlanc is there, and then Levi. I think I'm going to send down Jordan Schaefer if I can, although I don't really have to. And then forward-wise, Lito, Walters, Bison, Fogarty, Braves, and Lozon. Yeah, we're pretty much good. There's really not a whole hell of a lot we can look to do here. 2-star players basically across the board. It's just whether or not our team's good enough to win. And we will see if that is the case here very, very shortly. Although I think we are going to take a look at some tactics that we could look to change up. It is a best of 7. Of course, we lost. We were swept, if I'm not mistaken, in the first round last year. So I can't say that I'm expecting a whole hell of a lot. But if we look at the team tactics, I think what we're going to look to do, based on how this team is, I kind of need to see in general how physically oriented the team is. Like, how aggressive of a game do we play? If I look there at the checking ratings, somewhat physically, of a threat, we'll say, but not a ton. So we'll put those on medium. I want to play a somewhat high-tempo game. That's going to go right down the middle there, too. I gotta be honest, I think a lot of it, just the basic approach, is going to be a little bit of everything. As far as the breakout is concerned, I am going to set this up as I would prefer to set this up, but we're going to go flexible. We don't exactly know what the, we don't exactly know what the AI is going to be working with in terms of their strategies. Best used with defensemen of good teamwork skills along the boards, best used with wingers and defensemen with good puck skills. Through the center, depending on the skating. The stretch option is there as well. I think it is going to be flexible reaction, more than likely. And then strict positional is decent enough. Really dependent on good skating and teamwork. Not particularly strong or weak against any other tactics. I think flexible could work, though. Neutral zone offense. We are going to go with that. Activated D works. Let's just go with balanced. Offensive zone attack, we are going to look to set up probably with the old cycle option. Forecheck, let's go with a 1-2-2 still works. Neutral zone, let's go with the 1-2-2 retreat. That's already fine. Power play breakout, we'll go with the swing option. The offensive zone attack for the power play. Kind of digging the umbrella, but motion 2-3. Motion 2-3 works. That's not too bad. We do have, our defensemen are arguably our best player on the team. Power play defense is going to be pursue aggressively. Let's go all out. If a short-handed option happens, that's fine. And again, we're not really all great with checking, so we'll actually go with backup. Short-handed forecheck. We'll go with a passive 1-3, and let's go with a basic box for the penalty kill. Not aggressive. We should be pretty good there. As far as the individual players are concerned, of course, it would make sense to try and set this up to have everybody be as accurate as they need to be, and I think we will. So Stefan LeBlanc, just to get a look at how good he is. He's decent enough with the puck. He's a solid two-way, and if you look at his grades, you know, 12 is there. Not the best checker, but yeah, he is just a legitimate two-way defenseman. There's really no other way to view it, so I'll have him be somewhat mild in the attack. Really just straight down the middle works for basically everything, although how good was his shot? He has pretty good shooting range, actually. The accuracy's a bit low. Everything pretty much right down the middle for LeBlanc makes the most sense. I want to take a look at Austin Levi, the 21-year-old aristocrat, Ranches, Colorado. What a name. Decent enough shot. Still pretty much your average two-way, you know, two-way stay at home. I mean, offensively he's not that bad. But yeah, we should probably have him be a little bit more defensive. So he'll be set up as either a mobile defenseman or a stay-at-home defenseman. So let's see what we have here. Gonna have him be a little bit mild on the attack. The aggressiveness can be okay. Back checking's good, pressure's good. And in fairness with that skating, he could be a little bit more aggressive because he can get himself out of certain situations. When we look at the hitting, that can go medium. He can play high tempo. The passing game and the shooting game can be about medium as well. Vinny Pedri. We are going to need a huge series from Pedri on this one in terms of his best rating. Two-way, mobile defenseman. A little bit better defensively. He can basically do it all. And we'll hope that he does, and we'll also hope that a lot of this doesn't go to waste because there is a decent chance of it. But again, pretty much right down the middle on everything for Pedri. He can do it all. We'll have him set up that way. Sean Day is also currently set up as a two-way. Again, not bad. Has good shooting range. The accuracy leaves a bit to be desired. But I think same situation for him. We go with a pretty much average setup across the board. Not really weak at anything in particular. John Gilmore, listed right now as a point shooter. Rightfully so, I would say. Checking, still not that bad. The aggression's not great, but for the majority of our players here, clearly it's just going to be kind of an across-the-board setup. Just a little bit of everything. Kind of trusting these players to know what they need to do. We have Austin Irving, who was Defenseman of the Year last year in the league he was in, and won the WHL. I can't remember the name of the award at the end, but still was a part of the Edmonton Oil Kings team that would have gone to the Memorial Cup. He is currently listed as a two-way again, and I can see that. Hits a little bit harder than some of the other players on the team, but again, set him up with that kind of mid-table option. We should be good to go. This is going to be so disappointing if we end up losing this. A coin, I do not believe, is in the lineup. I think he would be, right? Yeah, he's on that fourth line option. You know, while we're here, I mean, Parker, you're going to get like 2 minutes a night. You're going to get like 3 minutes a night. You're barely going to play. And we're probably going to drop that down a bit, bump that up a little bit. Let's give you guys, try to give you guys 15 minutes a night. Bump that up to a 3. And bump that up a little bit more. There we go. We want to use that top line as much as we can. And third pairing, I can't really say it's that big of a difference. So with a coin, there's really not much to say. He is a playmaker, though. And that is, I mean, yeah, he's actually good in a couple of different ways. He's actually decent as a two-way. You see a lot of those 11s there. But could probably just make sure that when he's out there, he's not exactly shooting all that often. So all of that can be right down the middle. All of that can be down the middle, but we'll bump that up and make that slight change. Bartek Bison. What do we got for you, sir? Listed as a grinder, the 6'5" Dutchman. What are we dealing with here? Right now, a 13 is a power forward. His checking rating isn't extremely high, but as a power forward, again, kind of the same thing. Nothing too crazy where he's fairly well-rounded. Didn't mean to do that, but that's okay. Nothing too crazy. Right now, actually listed as a grinder as well. So we'll have him pretty much go with that mid-table approach. Dawson Lidl, what do we have for you, sir? I mean, granted, I'm kind of hoping I don't have to set this up for everybody. And it's looking like, if anything, just right down the middle. Across the board's the best way to go. Definitely a strong power forward. But again, just a really well-rounded player anyway. So let's go. Granted, I think with the way, actually, yeah, with the way that's set up, all I have to do is take out those check marks. And he will technically be listed as the global option is listed. Which I probably could have done a little bit earlier, but to be honest, I wasn't expecting so many of our players to be as well-rounded as they are. We really don't have any specialists. Everyone's just a well-rounded player, so it's pretty straightforward. I could check the rest of them, but I think we'll be good to go with this approach. So let's get this underway here. Let's hope that wasn't all for naught. Playing Adirondack, though. Likes of Kevin Rooney, Berchke, Curtis Gabriel is there. Iverson, who I recognize as well. Shane Conacher. I mean, let's hope for the best. Goaltender is, I think, going to be Jake Patterson. It is Jake Patterson against Chris Nell in the regular season. We beat them 5-2. They beat us 3-2. We beat them 5-4. They beat us 7-1. And then 4-0. We beat them 3-2. They beat us 4-1. And then they beat us 5-1. There's been a tendency for blowouts in this series, but let's see what happens. Game 1 is a 5-0 loss. 38 shots to 31. Absolutely brutal. Christoph Berchke gets the opening goal. Berchke scores again, and then Daniel Hardy makes it 3. Rooney and Hardy again. 5-0. We are... Oh boy, we're in trouble, aren't we? We are in a little bit of trouble. Probably going to jump straight into game 2. If we get blown out here, then I mean, it is what it is, and we're just absolutely screwed. Let's see what happens. Game 2 is a full... Wow, we've been outscored 9-0 over these 2 games. That is unbelievable. And so disappointing. Wow. Not a single goal through 2 games. The goaltending just hasn't been there. I don't know what we're going to do for Game 3. I don't see how we're going to dig ourselves out of the situation. We can get to the playoffs, pretty much no problem. But once we're here, man, we just got nothing going for us. That is harsh. I guess we'll dip back into the tactics and screw it. Let's be more aggressive. Let's do it. High tempo. High hitting. Just start going all out for it. Game 3. Will that help? It will, actually. We win 2-0. Not what I was expecting. A strong performance from Nell. 37 saves. They outshot us 37-32. But Nell gets the job done. I'll take it. 2 goals in the first period. Bison and Deschanel, and that was it. Overall, a decent job there to step up and walk away with a win. And I might revisit something tactically. Duncan Siemens is back as well, so if I go with that, yeah, that's a decent little boost there to the defense in terms of tactics. Let's, yeah, you know, I mean, granted, we just won with this. I'm almost tempted to make us a little bit more aggressive. And I think I am. Our breakout's fine. Neutral zone offense. Activated defense. I mean, we got some defensemen who are somewhat good. You know, we're going for this. We are going for this. Let's go. I'm going to say with a full-on scatting. That's not good. And stick-checking skills. Let's go with a full-on torpedo. Let's do it. We are going to try to be fairly aggressive here. I think we'll still go on the retreat. And aside from that, I think we're okay. So yeah, we're going to try to be a little bit more aggressive here. It worked in Game 3. Let's be even more aggressive in Game 4, and we might as well go for it. Game 4. Can we get back into the series? No, we can't. 4-3 loss in overtime. Damn, they outshot us 37-18, despite that more aggressive style. And it's not looking too good for us here. To be honest, I'm unsure of what changes to potentially make because I don't think we have it. It's a damn shame because I'm not sure. I mean, it might come down to the tactics here and what we've set up. The issue is, of course, is that we're just such a well-rounded team. There's only so much you can really do. Again, perhaps we are a bit too aggressive. Could certainly be the case. Let's go with a 2-3 press. And let's see what happens. Game 5 back in Adirondack. Is the season over? I could jump into play, but let's be honest. Let's just see if the season is over. It is a 5-1 win for the Thunder. We again make the playoffs, but come up short, despite the fact that there wasn't really that much separation between us and the team that we lost to in terms of overall grades. And as far as what comes next for us, I don't know. Obviously, the roster, again, is going to take a drastic turn. It's going to, I mean, there's going to be a lot of turnover. There's going to be a lot of changes because we only sign people to one-year deals, and we'll be looking to bring in the best players we possibly can. Chris Nell being a 3-star goalie, I still kind of feel like he absolutely screwed us. Jamie Phillips was doing much better overall, and it would have been nice to stick with them, but them's the breaks, I do suppose. It is a very disappointing way to end this season. I am intrigued to see who ends up winning, but perhaps we'll find out in the next one. Let me know what you guys think about the approach we should take with this. But right now, I can't help but feel like it's a matter of either we're going to get lucky in the sim or not. Maybe it does come down to the team building process. Maybe I should be a little bit more in depth with who we're targeting to try and make sure that everyone fits a play style. But you know, we went with a well-rounded lineup where pretty much everybody could play any type of play style, and it really just didn't work. So it's a weird situation to find ourselves in. Season 3 in the next episode, or at least we'll set the stage for Season 3. But another very disappointing first round exit today.